Hello, my name is Jared Krebs. I'm pictured here with my wife Crystal and our dog Tasia. We're located in San Antonio, Texas. We're Emerald Directors, co-founders of Team DSI, and today's training is on the 15 Laws of Growth, the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth in Action. And this is a book by John C. Maxwell. This is his latest book. It's already a New York Times best-selling book. And this book has tremendously improved my business. It's helped me become a better business person, a better contributor to this planet. And I want to share with you some things that we've learned since we've been applying these in action. And the first one, before we get started, I want to show you the difference between being growth conscious and goal conscious. All right, so here's a graph. And if you're taking notes or if you're listening, and you have a pen and paper, this is a really critical one. This is one that I learned from really life experience, but basically there's two ways you can be. You can be goal conscious or growth conscious. If you're a goal conscious, your focus is on the destination. If you're growth conscious, your focus is on the journey. If you're goal conscious, you're motivating. But if you're growth conscious, it matures people. It matures you. So it's better to be matured than to just be motivated. Goals are seasonal. Growth is lifelong. All right. So again, we want to be growing lifelong, just like what Gloria said earlier. Goals challenge people, but growth changes people. And when the goal is reached, we plateau. But when the goal is reached for someone who's growth conscious, we keep growing. And I can just say that if I reflect on the past 11 years of building my business, it's been the growth that's helped me become a man in this line of work. It's been the growth that's helped me. Yes, the goals have been great, but the growth really is what is the determining factor of who you become. So I want to encourage you tonight to be, and not just tonight, but for the rest of your USANA career, to be growth conscious. Focus on the journey, not the destination. Focus on maturing as a person. Focus on growing lifelong for the rest of your life. That will change you, and when you reach your goals, you're just going to keep growing because you're growth conscious. All right, so there's four things to remember about growth. Number one, growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better. That's true. That's the only guarantee. Not getting older. Getting older does not guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better, but growing is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better. Number two, growth means change. That's it. You have to change. Things have to change. Things change anyways. But if you change intentionally, you're in a position to where the change doesn't hurt you as bad, right? So we have to change intentionally. And then growth conscious versus goal conscious. We have already gone through that one, but it's very important to be growth conscious. And then number four, growth is joy. There's something very joyous about growing. You know, they always say you're green and growing, or you're if you're not growing, you're dying. And that's so true. It's like you can't just stay stagnant. If you're staying stagnant, you're really, decreasing and not growing. So I want to encourage you guys to grow. Growth is joy. There's something very joyous about this process and working together, helping others, growing together as a team, growing together as a community. And so the training tonight is about the 15 laws in action. And this is a picture of Holten Buggs. He's actually a network marketing top earner. And he shared his story on the John Maxwell 15 Laws of Growth webinar. And I was taking notes, and literally, I think I took about 15 pages of notes. And literally, his training brought me to tears. Like, his training was so good, like, it brought me to tears. And I'd never been in a training that brought me to tears. And so I needed to share this with you guys because, oh my gosh, he has so many good things. So I'm going to basically be talking about the Holten Buggs story, and that's how we're going to do this training. So when he first got up there, he's like, people always compare this industry of network marketing. Sometimes they say, I can't tell if this is a business conference or this is a church conference. And he says, well, Jesus was the number one network marketer. Jesus was a marketer, and Jesus, built a huge organization, and he sent them in twos, just like a binary compensation plan. But some went 12 wide because he also had 12 apostles, and he just was kind of drawing all the similarities between the story of Jesus and this network marketing that we're in. He even had a person quit, right? We have people quit in our business, and that happened to Jesus as well. He also had a weekly meeting. He said, we're gonna do our weekly meeting on Sundays. We have our weekly meetings on Thursdays, but and Saturdays. They had an orientation. We have a getting started training. He had a Bible study. We call that weekly training, and quarterly revivals. We call those destination events. And he built an organization of how many hundreds of millions of people. Best organization on the planet, right? One of the biggest organizations on the planet. And so it was just funny how he kind of drew the similarities between what we do and the path that Jesus took. And it really is about impacting other people's lives. And I could say that was just a really cool thing that he said. The other thing that I learned from him is that the subconscious mind cannot distinguish fiction from nonfiction. So whenever we watch like a movie that's scary, our mind can't actually figure out if that's real, or our subconscious mind thinks that it's real. So it's really important what we say, and it's really important, what we how we talk. And he also talked about how he's not a super organized person. He just can't do it. But he had to be okay with being him. And that's the thing I want you guys to do in your business. Be okay with being you. You do not have to be like me. You do not have to be like Holten Buggs. You have to be like you. And just be okay with being you. And that you can succeed being you. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect, right? We're all sitting on secrets here. A lot of times you might have this webinar, or you might see, someone like right now, for example, on this webinar, you're hearing me talk, and you might think, oh, geez, this is the person talking right now. This is the perfect me, right? This is Jared, and this is like I'm looking good, but I have problems too. I don't always get along perfectly with my wife. I don't always have like everything together. I don't have that. Like nobody does. But we get up here and we try and pretend like we're so great and perfect, and you got to be like that to succeed. No, you don't. You just have to be you, and you have to overcome your challenges and become better and better. But I guess that the main thing I was hearing about is, what? Holten Buggs is a normal guy. I'm a normal guy, and that's okay. And that's how we can all, be real with each other and still succeed. So at the very beginning of his business, for the first 7 years, Holten Buggs did not make a profit. He had lots of tax write-offs, he says. Literally 7 years, he says he had 49 people in his organization over 7 years cumulative. Okay, it wasn't 49 in all 1 year. It was over 7 years cumulative, but he still stayed excited because he believed he could do it. And, he did not miss an event for 25 years in network marketing. He never missed an event for 25 years. Like we were just talking about Sherry being in for 10 years. Imagine being in for 25 years and not missing a convention, not missing a regional quarterly event, not missing a webinar, not missing anything. Network marketing gave him the freedom to adopt his niece and nephew. I guess something happened and with one of his family members, and he had to adopt his niece and nephew, and now he's able to take care of his niece and nephew, and that's so cool that network marketing gave him that option. So getting back to your word, be very careful what you say to your group. Be very careful what you say to your prospects. Be very careful what you say to your wife or your husband or your spouse, your significant other. Be very careful what you say to your children. The subconscious mind takes it literally. And when he was growing up, he talks about how his mom, he grew up in a nice family and everything, but he said that his mom kind of, told him, don't be a big mouth, only talk when you're spoken to, and, kind of told him to shut up a lot. And like all that was, he thought that his mom was helping him respect his elders, but what it was really doing was killing his self-image, and it was killing his confidence. So when he got in to start his business, he had all these confidence issues because of all the self-image bashing, quote unquote, that he had gotten over time, over growing up. But he got out of that, and he got out of that by working on himself. He got out of that by using affirmations, by reading books, by listening to personal growth and development. And he said that if you basically, he's a slow reader but a fast listener. So I mean, it's important to read, and we read books, but listening to audios is one of the best things you can do as well, because you listen at the speed that the audio is going by. And so he said he listened up to 20 hours per day. He was doing personal growth all night, all day. He says that he believes that at one point in his life, he probably was listening to more personal growth and development than anyone else on the planet. 20 hours a day. He would go and he would actually sleep with a little tape recorder playing personal growth and development underneath his pillow, and he would hear personal growth and development while he was sleeping. He just consistently worked on his mind and worked on his thoughts and worked on his thoughts until he created a new reality. Today, Holten Buggs makes literally 6 figures per month. Not 6 figures per year, 6 figures per month. But he worked on himself. And one of the things that he said that's very important that you share is share how hard this business is. Don't mismanage your people's expectations, especially the ones who want to have a business. Don't make it sound like it's going to be all easy and all, a cakewalk. This may be one of the hardest things you'll ever do, but it will be worth it. And, you can never eliminate fear, but you can gain courage. You never eliminate fear, you only gain courage. So it's all about gaining courage and getting to that point where, yes, the fear is still there, but the courage is so much bigger that it just doesn't matter no more. And one of the things that he said on his talk was, as he did personal growth, as he listened, I mean, we say to listen to 15 minutes a day, right? And like me personally, I listen to about an hour a day between audiobooks, between reading, between being on webinars. I do about an hour a day. But could you imagine listening to personal growth 20 hours a day? Shout out to Renee Martinez. I know he listens to like 3 hours a day when he's at work. Maybe that's why his business is growing so fast. But 20 hours a day, I mean, that's awesome. But over time, since he kept doing personal growth and development, kept listening to audios, kept feeding his mind the positive reinforcement, his numbers started to improve. And things started to happen for him that were positive, and he started to actually help people get started and retain leaders. And one of the things he says is when you start enrolling people and you start getting people started, death is just as important as growth. A lot of his bad habits died away. He worked on his belief system, his paradigm. He eliminated income-reducing words. Income-reducing words started to die. It was replaced by certainty. I'm a grower, I'm a leader, I'm a planter, but some will die. You guys got to know that. Some of these prospects, I'm not talking about die literally, but, they're going to quit. They're going to sign up. They're going to be associates. They're going to tell you everything. They're going to go to some events. They might even go to convention. And yet they will still quit. And you got to know that. Some will die. It's just part of it. But remember that the next leader will be bigger than the last one. And you got to keep being a grower and a planter because some will stay. So keep altering those beliefs and the actions will change. And I like that because the actions come from the beliefs. So here's what really blew my mind, okay? Holten Buggs didn't start to have really crazy breakthrough success until 18 years after he started, okay? So remember, the first 7 years he didn't make any money, all right? And then let's say 9 years after that, he was making decent money. But when it hit year 18, he got into lifestyle money. And that to me is personally an inspiring thing. I'm in my 11th year. We make a full-time income. We're doing well with our business. Our business pays our needs and gives us more at the end of every month as well than our bills. But sometimes I would get discouraged, like, oh, why ain't I diamond yet? Or why aren't I further along? I'm just talking about my personal story for a minute. But when I heard Holten Buggs say that, 18 years, and then you know what else he said? He said nobody knows when it's gonna pop for you. Nobody knows when it's actually going to turn into a big income. So nobody knows the time frame in which it will pay off. So you have to keep pumping. You have to keep your hand on the pump. And so when he says that, you keep pumping, and it's like your mental biceps. You get strong. Sometimes you get a splash of a result. Keep pumping. Lillian Galdiano, keep pumping. You enrolled 4 clients and 1 associate. Don't celebrate. Keep pumping. When the skin goes away, the calluses come back, right? So you're pumping real hard. You're doing all this work and you're tired. Well, then you have to switch hands and pump with the other hand and give your hand a break, your other hand a break. You have a spurt and then you celebrate. No, you can't celebrate and pump at the same time. I've been guilty of that. When we became Emerald directors, I think we celebrated probably another month after we went Emerald. And you can't celebrate and pump at the same time. So keep pumping, guys. Don't celebrate, accelerate. And, when you start to make that extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, pay off your cars if they're not already paid off. Pay off all your credit card debt. Set aside 1 year's worth of money, and then go full time with USANA. Don't do it on just hoping that you would make the money. Make sure you're taken care of financially. The other thing that he said was, don't believe the press. When you start to get successful in USANA, everybody starts talking about you and how great you are. And I'm warning everybody on this webinar, don't believe your own press. He says, I'm not as good as my income. And stay humble. Keep pumping. And if you keep pumping, you're going to experience the law of decreasing responsibility, meaning that your business is going to grow and the work is going to lessen because your team is growing and the leadership is happening. He also said, every day, wake up and make an intention to impact somebody's life in some small way or big way. Don't ask for a return, just give. And that's like a prayer, he said. And I've been doing that ever since I saw this webinar. As I pray every morning, God, please help me make a difference in someone's life today with my business and also with my finances. Help me to give. And I've been doing little things like I was at a restaurant and I bought the meal for the person next to me. I was at a Starbucks. I bought a Starbucks for the person behind me. I've been doing little things like that ever since I saw Holten Buggs, because I want to practice being more generous. And it is so cool. Generosity is one of the most beautiful things. And, he talked about radical generosity, like huge, crazy generosity. Like at the point that he's at right now, he gives, to get this, like every December, he'll do things every day of the month of December. He'll go into a restaurant at the busiest time of the season, like the time of the day. And he'll go to the manager. He'll say, here's my credit card. I want you to put everybody's meal on this credit card. And he'll literally pay for everybody's meal in the whole entire restaurant. And then no one will know he did it, and he'll walk off. And he'll just be happy and excited. And people are just like freaking out because their meal got paid for. The whole restaurant. Like he'll go into a store and like where there's a bunch of stuff on layaway. He'll buy everything on layaway and he'll say, give it to the people who had it on layaway. He'll just give like that. He bought his mom a house. Like cash. He surprised his mom. He had his mom go house hunting with somebody for their house. And then when she came back, I guess they went and visited another house that she had liked for a long time, and when she walked in, all of the family was there and said, "Surprise, this is your house." And his mom had never owned a house before. And like things like that, that type of generosity is just so inspiring to me, being able to give at that level. And it's just not something that we get from a traditional job. You can't give at that level. But with network marketing and with USANA, you can give at that level. You just got to keep pumping, and you got to keep pumping multiple years, and you have to have a bigger vision than just getting your auto order paid for or just making $500 a month. You got to have a vision of being able to not only provide for you, but provide for many, many other people and give and make a difference. And that's like one of the biggest contributions we can make, is being a giver that way. He also gives to his church. He gives, he does so much. Anyways, he's just a tremendous, tremendous person. He shared with us some of the affirmations. He says, he would read these affirmations every single day. So if you have a pen, I want you to write these down. I wrote these down, and I've been saying these affirmations, especially this one. Successful people are always calling me to personally sponsor them into my business. Every day I read that. Every single day I read that. And I say it 10 times. Successful people are always calling me to personally sponsor them into my business. Successful people are always calling me to personally sponsor them into my business. And that's a great affirmation. He also has this one. People follow me easily and effortlessly. People follow me easily and effortlessly. People follow me easily and effortlessly. He also says, everywhere I go, I am a people magnet. Everywhere I go, I am a people magnet. Everywhere I go, I am a people magnet. Next one, people can't wait for me to come into the room. People can't wait for me to come into the room. People can't wait for me to come into the room. Next one, money flows to me easily and effortlessly. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. And when he was talking about affirmations, I was like, oh, wow, this is so cool, because I've been saying affirmations throughout my whole 11 years. And that's one of the reasons I think I've gotten to a six-figure income, is because of my affirmations and visualization. And when he started saying that, I'm like, wow, I'm on the right track. And so I want to encourage you guys, if you're not doing that, I do it every morning. I go and I brush my teeth, and then I have my affirmations there in the bathroom, and I read them 10 times in front of the mirror. And I only have about 4 or 5 of them. But I read them in the mirror, and I look at myself, and I put myself in that mind frame like if it already happened. And that puts me in a good mood. And then I go out about the rest of my day. But I want to encourage you guys to do that, because those little things make all the difference. That's like the slight edge. If you told yourself every day for 5 years, successful people are always calling me to personally sponsor them into my business, you think you'd have successful people calling you? If you wrote money flows to me, if you said money flows to me easily and effortlessly every day for 5 years, do you think money would be flowing to you easily and effortlessly? Absolutely it would. The thing is, people quit when they don't see money come in 30 days or 90 days. You guys, you have to do it for a long, long time to get it into your subconscious mind. So that's what I want you guys to know from that part of his training. And, he's been in the industry for 26 years, okay? So more than double the time I've been in the industry, he's been in the industry. And when you're doing this, you're going to get some calluses, right? You're not going to be so sensitive after a while. Like, you get your feelings hurt in the beginning because someone says no, or someone tells you you're crazy, or someone makes fun of you for being in USANA or for sharing it, or being one of those, they call it a scam, or whatever happens, hurts your feelings. You're going to get calluses, and God will give you new hands. Keep pumping, pay off your cars, pay off your credit card debt, set aside 1 year's worth of money. Keep pumping. Don't think you're as good as you are. Keep pumping. Don't stop. Don't celebrate. The law of decreasing responsibility will kick in, and the results is crazy generosity, being able to live a mortgage-free lifestyle. He owns 4 other homes, all completely paid off. He was able to buy his dad a car, buy his mom a house. He's created a whole recreation center in his community, all paid for cash. He's done so many amazing things with his life, and it all came from network marketing. He started out just like us, guys, at the bottom. He started at the bottom, now he's here. So that's the main things that I learned from his talk. The part that brought me to tears was when he was talking about generosity, when he was talking about being able to buy his mom a house and giving her a purse with $10,000 cash in it, and then taking her into her house. Like, could you imagine doing that for your parents or for your loved ones? When he talked about buying people's stuff on layaway and giving to them, and just like walking off and no one even knows he did it. Like, just, man, there were so many things. I didn't write everything down he did, but all that generosity just got to me, because there's just no other way we can do that without network marketing, without our business. So guys, that concludes our training. I just want to encourage you to keep it about other people. Think about the bigger picture of what you're doing, and keep on pumping. I hope you guys have an awesome night. Thank you for attending. We'll talk to you soon.